Welcome to update of Dashcam Diary of a Disabled. Blue. Blah, 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 blah. I cannot speak, but I feel so much better emotionally and physically. I can function a little bit today. My phone can't function, but I can. I seriously need a better mount for this mofo. I'm in so much better spirits, physically, mentally. It is the best having a chiropractor that listens and is as good as a flippin' therapist as he is a physical a chiropractor. He's a mental therapist too. He really gets to work close with a lot of people, and he has so many stories and so much to tell. And he treated my grandmother and my mother only once, but my grandmother, lots of my aunts and uncles grew up out in like the farming community. My mom really didn't have much of anything growing up. She came from a quite large family. She has 7 brothers and sisters, including an identical twin, being part of the family. I have a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins. It's ridiculous. Each one of my mom's siblings had 2 children each, and so I have so many cousins and second cousins, and it's extremely hard. We have not had like a full-on family reunion in like years. We have not, like, ever since I was a child, we used to like do, you know, Christmas at the grandparents' house too, and all the aunts and uncles and all the cousins would be there, and we'd all have like the biggest celebration of Christmas ever. And I grew up in such a large family, and my mom being so close with her siblings, and always doing stuff with my aunts and uncles, doing camp trips, and like I really had a great large family, and so family's like everything to me. However, we have such a very small family now that we really don't have all the communication we used to back in the 80s. And what's crazy is communication is so much easier now than it was back in the 80s when I was a kid. And it's just like we communicate even less. We have more opportunity, but as humans and social beings, we aren't even taking advantage of that. Like, I understand there's like so many consequences for overindulgence and screen time and like social media, and we are wasting our lives not only on television, video games, and social media platforms now, but we are tending to ignore what's at the heart of human social nature. We're going against nature. Nature versus nurture, and we are not doing really either. As a society in a whole, we are not nurturing our fellow humans. We are just trying to be natural, and in a world that's overstimulated and overpopulated, and news and things being thrown at you every second of the day is exhausting, and it's making people burn out and get sick and unhappy and mad, and it's dividing the society and our country and the world. It's pretty ridiculous when you think about things in that kind of perspective. It's ridiculous. Why can't we just get our crap together and love each other and be kind to each other and support and lift each other up and help each other understand and cope with all these external forces coming at us 24/7 nonstop every second of the day. All this information overload into your brain because you're consuming all this news and social media and screen time and not getting out in nature, getting back to your core values, which really COVID should have been the time when all those shutdowns happened. It should have been the time that we pulled our heads out of our butts and started helping each other and not staying away from each other, but nurturing each other's relationships and friendships. And that's why COVID has caused such damage too, because we as a society did not change anything except for make things worse during quarantine, and people realizing how burnt out they are and how the mental illness is spreading, and ridiculous. Nobody can live. Nobody can afford to live anymore. Where is the American dream? And I'm not trying to like spread any kind of propaganda, but it's just, it is ridiculous. What the type of society we are now. Like, if the world were to end today, and there's so many different times in history of society. I love anthropology. I love the study of behavior and people and different species. I mean, I am so enthralled, and I love learning and talking about that stuff. And I haven't talked about it in so long, but I love studying people and trying to understand others, and that's why I take the time to listen. That is the best skill and superpower I have, is I am a great listener. When I am interested. When I'm interested. When I'm not interested, I am not interested, and I am not going to learn a damn thing. I'm straight up honest right now. I accept that. I am a great listener when I want to be. Because I love to learn and experience and understand what other people go through on a daily as well. Everybody's different, and I love that. I love variety in the world. I don't like everybody to be the same, where everybody's trying to be the same. I'm trying to do my own thing on YouTube here. I'm being complete upfront and honest. I don't edit my videos, except for my shorts, I mean, because those are shorts, and they aren't really meant for, you know, serious topics as much as this. I'll get there eventually, maybe with more serious shorts, but I like to laugh, and I like to have a sense of humor, and I like to be happy, and I strive, and that is my goal every day, is to be happy, and to do things that make me happy, and not waste my time on the stupid bullshit of having to make doctor appointments, deal with my physical disabilities. I mean, of course I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be disabled. I want to be able-bodied, and I want to do all these things and go hiking and be with my dog and go camping and go driving right now. And I am so, like, sad that I have to continuously go and catch up from 2 years of medical care that I never received, and rehabilitation from a surgery that is very debilitating. When they're cutting your spinal cord loose from your bottom part of your body so you can have better bowel and urinary function, and hopefully it doesn't progress to worse, because if I wouldn't have had that surgery, I could have progressed to having to have all kinds of bags and assistance things to be able to go to the bathroom, like incontinence and all that kind of stuff. I'm very, very likely to have prolapses in those kind of types of areas because of my connective tissue issues. It's not pretty. I'm very unstable physically because of my medical conditions, and so that makes the rest of my life unstable and unpredictable, and it's hard to keep your emotions in control when you have so much trauma to deal with and cry about. A lot of feelings to feel about situations that have happened previously and are happening presently, and just trying to change my future and change my mood and rewire my brain to be happy more frequently, and accept that, yes, I am disabled. I accept that I'm disabled, but society doesn't accept me as disabled, not all of it. And I'm really hoping to change people's minds, but I know I'm not going to change everybody's mind, and I accept that. People are allowed to their opinion. I'm allowed to have haters. I'm allowed to have followers, but, you know, my intent is to hopefully inspire others to go after what you want. I just get reaffirmed every time by my chiropractor, because he knows my family, he knows the generations, and he sees the comparison between my family members and me and my grandmother, and I have what my grandmother had and what my mom had. My other aunt that goes to the same chiropractor, and my cousin, her daughter, that goes to the same chiropractor, is very severely disabled like me. Very similar symptomology, but she has a couple of diseases I don't have. It's not a comparison, but I'm just trying to, like, say her and I relate a lot, only because of one blood, but the genetics are a huge factor into how tonsils out because I had such recurrent throat infections, sinus infections, ear infections, all upper respiratory my entire life. Entire life. I was born jacked up. I didn't even want to be born. I was late. I turned backwards. I was not ready to be out into the world when I came out, but I was really severely overweight as a baby. I was severely overweight. I was basically born inflamed. I was really chunky. I almost looked like a little Subo baby. I had like a full set of hair. Like my hair was like this long in my baby picture when I was born. Newborn baby picture. I had hair this flipping long. It was, I don't like my baby picture. I think I'm ugly. I think I am an ugly baby because I'm so chunky. And maybe I have poor self-image because I was like a fat baby. But maybe some body dysmorphia. I know I'm not fat. I know I'm not overweight by any means right now in my life. I'm 43. I am no longer immature in that mindset of poor self-image because I was a fat baby. People that I show my baby picture to, they're all like, "Oh." Okay, I understand why though. I had poor self-image and I hated my baby picture because it hurt so bad when people would grab my cheek and go like this because I was so flippin' fat adorable. I absolutely could not stand when people did that to me. It hurt. I am so sensitive. It hurts to grab me and pinch me on my cheek. That fat is sensitive. I have nerve endings there, man. Like it's I have a bad phobia because of like that. Because I was constantly doted on for my fatness and like, oh. So yeah, I naturally just the complete opposite my entire life. Like I don't want to be chunky or chubby, and so I had a tad of body dysmorphia in high school. I was a depressed, rebellious teenager. I was in trouble. I was grounded for months on end. Like the only time I could get out of being grounded was when I could convince and manipulate my parents into like, I'll be good. I'll be good. I had to test their boundaries. I was a child teenager. I tested my parents my entire life with my meltdowns as a child, my mental I delay because of my sicknesses, and I grew up sick. I've been sick my entire life, and for my mom to think that I'm not sick and believe that there's nothing wrong with her genetics. It's kind of absurd, but I can't change somebody else. It's my mom, and I love her to death. Don't get me wrong, I do vent about it a little bit on here, but I absolutely adore and love my mother. She is my mother. She gave birth to me. Everybody has problems, and I accept and love for people even though they have problems. That's all I want in life, is to be loved and cared and validated, and people to really care about me. I strive for that. I want people to care, but I can't force somebody to care about certain things. And I learned that from my mom very early on. I have changed her opinion a little bit about certain things. I've helped her grow as a person in some ways. But there's just some things I just cannot change. She has to want to change, and she does not want to change certain parts of her core personality. Which is fine. I like I said, I love my mom. She is the hardest, strongest, independent woman I fucking know. Just like my grandmother was. And that is one thing that my chiropractor tells me every time almost. Like, he respected my grandmother and how she fucking told it how it is. That is the one thing about my bloodline on my mom's side of the family. We are fucking stubborn. We are stubborn, hard-headed, and we are going to work until we are going to die. We are going to keep working ourselves into the ground. We are such high-strung people, and motivated people. It was ingrained in me. I had that part from my mom. Is it a good thing, bad thing? It's a good thing when I can use it to my advantage and use my motivation, my anger, my frustrations, and I use that to get somewhere, because that's what it takes for me to get unmotivated and unstuck sometimes and stop procrastinating, is that drive from my mom's side, like that motivation that I am not giving up. Like, that is the one real major strong personality trait that is so strong on my mom's side of the family, and I respect them for it, because we don't. I hate small talk. I really dislike small talk. I am bad at it. I don't like it. I like to really know. I like to figure out intent. I don't like people to just say things to placate me. I would rather have my anger and my feelings hurt with the truth than to be lied to and pea-footed around. I'm trying my best not to use full-on derogatory terms. I am fired up because I have the energy. I don't have the pain. I'm not dislocated now. I am awake as F. Because I have to be energized in order to make it to my next doctor appointment in an hour from now. I have to have the energy to make it through, because when I get home, I'm going to crash hard. I'm going to be in bed all day, and I hope my mind will calm down enough to be able to sleep and make up for what I missed last night, because my mind is still processing and dealing with yesterday's assessment and triggers from my trauma. At least I'm able to talk without crying right now, compared to my video that I'm posting immediately at the same time as this one. So they're going to be back-to-back long content videos. I need to make some shorts, but due to all my trauma and all my emotional distress and overwhelmed and frustrations and things I've got to deal with, like on my way home right now, I'm about to stop by the pharmacy and finally deal with picking up medication that my doctor ordered on Monday from Portland. And I have to call back the other pharmacy up in Portland to find out, are my meds actually in the flippin' mail, because they contacted me yesterday morning, but in order to get to my assessment yesterday, I had to do absolutely nothing else all day. I had to do nothing yesterday morning in order to be able to get through the emotional roller coaster that the assessment took me to yesterday. I knew I needed to be calm going into it, because I knew deep down that I would be crying, because I still have a lot of feelings to process about my disabilities. The lack of resources, the lack of being able to get the help that I deserve and need right away, that I just cannot get through that hump of making those phone calls, because I am so exhausted from just the current physical and mental health symptoms that I experience. It's difficult, but it's manageable with help. And I am not ashamed to say I need flipping help. I hope I don't need a caretaker long term, but I need to be prepared to have one long term, because I need help. And it's so hard to admit that I need help in so many areas, because I changed my mind during the assessment so many times about what I really need and what I don't need and what I don't feel comfortable with yet, because I'm still trying to accept certain parts of my disabilities. It's so hard, especially when I got diagnosed with like multitudes of my diseases. I was a go-getter. I was like on top of stuff. As soon as I finished college, like even during college, I was a go-getter. I was having surgeries during winter vacation in order to not miss any college classes and fail any classes, because I needed to focus on school only for 6 years. And I had to deal with being disabled, and I had to deal with not getting medical help. I had to deal with being gaslit by doctors. I went through so much trauma, and I was so stressed out because I was doing homework. I was scheduling things in between classes. I was seeing doctors outside of, I couldn't do my homework on time. I was exhausted. And then I was staying up late at night, not getting enough sleep, making myself sicker, getting more burnt out and stressed out. And I was doing it all. I have some wonderful stories to tell about the thick of it, the worst of it that I've been through. I'm not going to do it in this video because this video is already long and I'm at the pharmacy, but I have some stories about my college time and how much struggle I went through, and I'm so proud of myself. I can talk better about it these days. I'm not as traumatized. Oh, I think that's my nephew. This man. I don't know if that's my nephew. I don't think so. Alright, well, anyways, I'm at the pharmacy. I'm going to go get my medication. I'm going to feel better because I'm going to get some steroids right in my body right away. I don't know how my steroids are going to do on my short temper and traumatizing stuff right now, because it does stimulate me. Steroids are a stimulant, and it's really going to help my inflammation. I don't have as much, but I did feel it during my adjustment, and I am out of one of my medications that I'm calling the pharmacy for. So anyways, I'm going to go in, and I got to get Stormy home and potty, so yeah. I'll update again later. I'm going to have probably 3 or 4 videos today to make up for all the days that I missed over the last beginning of the week, because I've had so many appointments and just, I'm exhausted. But my goal is at least 1 video a day, and so I'm going to be making up for that because I have a lot to talk about. So peace out for now. Enjoy.